Well, hello Southern Grace and Beauty watchers. I always start out my videos with something weird, just please ignore that. But today we are going to be doing this look, and before we go into the details of this look, I want to address the giant elephant in the room, or leopard in the room, whatever you want to call this little pattern back here. If you do not follow my my Bible studies and stuff, you probably didn't really realize that I have a new background. My father was generous enough to allow me to use his old movie projector from, I think it was like the 1970s. So we pulled it in here, we set it up, and I have a blanket draped over it so that we could work with the shadows a little bit, because there's a lot of shadow on the gray screen. So I put up a dark background, and I think it worked out very well. It worked out with the lighting. I'm still trying to work with that. I'm trying to improve. But yeah, I'm really excited to start improving my channel. I've got a lot of things planned for 2020. Yeah, let me know if you like the background. Let me know if you don't. Actually, don't let me know if you don't, because there's really nothing I can do about it right now, so deal with it. But anyways, I'm doing this look today. It's a very fall inspired. Someone had requested that I do a fall inspired look. Didn't quite turn out the way that I had planned, but it's still very pretty. It's wearable for me. Like, I would totally go out like this, but for some people it might not be. So you can change up the lip color, you can change up how much eyeshadow you use. It just all depends on your preference. But seriously, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay tuned if you want to see how I did this. The highlighter turned out to be a big fat mess, and just I don't like the way the highlighter looks right now. So let me know. I don't know what's going on. What am I doing? I need to quit messing with my hair. But anyways, if you want to see how I did this look, just please stay tuned and ignore my weirdness. You can unsubscribe if you don't like my weirdness, but I hope you stay for that. So. Okay, so starting out as always, I'm going to take a little bit of my Almay Smart Shade Primer here. It's going to act as a moisturizing base, and heaven knows I need it. Slather that all over the face and let that sink in while we work on the eyes. So I'm going to take my Essence, what are you? I Love Color Intensifying eyeshadow base or primer. You may notice that sometimes before I put on my eye products, I'll wipe down my eyelids a little bit. It's because my eyelids are very oily, and a lot of times if I put product over an oily eyelid, everything just kind of breaks up a little bit, so I have to make sure it's cleaned off before I put any product on it. Gonna blend that out with my fingers. Honestly, I really should do this part before I film, because I mean, it's everybody knows how to prime their eyes. I'm going to set that down with my CoverGirl pressed powder here. Oh, by the way, today, the day that I'm filming this, after I finish with this video, I will be sitting down to do my very first podcast episode. And if you follow any of my Christian lifestyle stuff, like on my blog, my Christian playlist that I've got here on YouTube, you probably heard me talk about the podcast a little bit. I haven't been able to work on it in a while, but I am so excited to finally sit down and work on this. Okie dokes. So I'm going to go in with my 88 original palette by Coastal Scents, and you've probably seen it before, just an OG favorite of mine. I'm going to be sticking with some of the warmer colors, like over here, do the whole warm color fall, you know, the typical fall look. So I'm going to go in with, perhaps, if I can find it, go big old fluffy blush, big fluffy brush. Let's get our words together. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with this matte color right here. It's kind of got a hint of red and purple in it. It comes off, it pulls more pinkish purplish on camera, but it's got a little touch of red in it. So it's going to be perfect to place as our transition color. And don't worry if I pull the color too far over here, because we're going to clean that up. I just want to place that in the crease, upper crease, just a bit, just to lay down a nice base for our other colors. And you know what's weird is it's coming off a little more purple toned on my eyes too, so I might have to add another red toned shade underneath, kind of blend it out a little bit. So tell me, what have you guys been up to? Any Thanksgiving plans? Any holiday plans in general? What have you been up to these days? Have you put up your Christmas decorations yet? It's a funny story. Last year around Christmas, a bunch of us kind of got sick, caught a bunch of crud from the weather and from other people. So we didn't really get all of the Christmas stuff put up. We still had the manger scene set up in the living room, so obviously we won't have to pull that down. We still have a bunch of stuff in the dining room. It's been a mess. Okay, the color right above it is a very bright orangey reddish color. That's the one I've really been wanting to use. I'm going to add that in there too somehow. Kind of bring all that together. Ooh, yeah, that's a nice color. I like that effect. It kind of gives off that fall sunset kind of look, especially here in North Carolina. If you've ever been to the Carolina mountains, you've probably seen these colors before in the sunset. And don't worry, we'll clean up a lot of this up here. I'm not going to leave it that way. Don't have a lot of lid space, so I'm just working with what I got. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. Let's find my pencil brush. Here you are. We're going to take a pencil brush like this. We're going to go into that dark red color. It's just matte red. No, I've noticed that it's very hard to find a matte red these days. I mean, there's a lot of shimmers out there. There's some satin finishes, but you never really see a matte red. I think a couple of high-end brands are coming out with it. But we're going to place that red sort of on the outer V just a little bit. Kind of blend all those colors together. This will make for a nice little blend for the shimmer that we're going to use. And I really hope that shimmer works well, because that would work out well for the look that I'm going for. And I'm not sure exactly what to do, since these colors aren't really giving me that fiery red fall look that I'm looking for. It's pulling more purple. It might be the transition color that I placed. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to mix these two oranges right here. And I'm going to just kind of place it on top of everything else to kind of bring back some of the warmth. It's working a little bit. Oh yeah, it's coming together nice. I feel like the shimmer that we're going to use will pull things together too. Oof! Got some Fallout Central going on. Alright. Well, thank goodness for concealer and foundation and cleaning things up, because that was really ridiculous. And there is a plane going by overhead, so forgive that. Okie dokes. So, now that we've kind of got a general placement for our eyeshadow, I'm going to, what am I going to do? Red shimmer. Wow, brain fart. So I'm going to go in with, let me pull this out. I'm going to go in with Redstone by Coastal Scents. It's not really a shimmer per se, but it's got a nice little sheen to it. It's a beautiful color, and I think it will pull everything together, bring some of those brownish, warmish tones back. Really wish the camera would focus. Please focus, camera. So I'm going to place Redstone right there in the inner part of the eye. Wish I had like a shimmery color with this shade, like something to really pop. Alright, so I'm going to go in with this MAC palette right here. They're not all MAC eyeshadows, it's just a empty palette that I was given. I put some of my random shades in it. And I'm not sure what shade this is, but it's just kind of a shimmery gold, bronzy gold shade. I'm going to place that right on top, kind of sort of in the center. Can't really see it that well on camera, but it's a beautiful, subtle shimmery shade. And with a brush like this, probably should have cleaned some of my brushes. I'm going to take this off-white shade right here, right there. And I'm going to place it just right under the brow. It's very, very subtle. But it's going to help clean up some of the eyeshadow we got going on. It's not going to be quite as intense under the brow. But I still want this to be a very glam fall look. It's not going to be one of those boring looks. Oh, I've put on far too much of it. Alright, so I'm going to run off camera real quick and I'm going to clean up under my eyes and clean up my hands. Try to figure out who keeps texting me. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am back and ready to go. I don't think I'm going to do any eyeliner. I might, you know what, I'm going to do just a regular old line. Just to pull it together just a tad. So, yeah, I'll pull it together real nice. And one thing that you probably heard me talk about before is, especially if you're struggling with eyeliner like me, best way to do it is to look down in the camera like this, like as if you're putting on false lashes, and you're gonna kind of lay it down on top of the root of your lashes and just pull the brush to the side. It's very hard to talk doing eyeliner. It is very hard. Go. Alright, yeah, it pulls it together just a little bit. I'm going to take, I was kind of hoping I had a clean brush here. I'm going to take that same big fluffy brush we had earlier, and I'm going to run that with no extra product on it. Run that over the brow color and the reds. Blend them all together. Okay, so now that we have eyeliner, blended everything out, sorta kinda, we're going to do mascara. Whoever keeps texting me needs to quit. I'm just gonna curl my lashes. I'm going to use my Essence Lash Princess mascara. It's one of my all-time favorites. I like that, the Maybelline Falsies Volume Express. There was one I used back in the day. It was pink and green, I believe. Maybelline had it. I really liked that one. I need to get another tube of that. I don't know if you can tell the difference on camera between this eye and this eye, but ugh, I love this stuff. Alrighty. Now we can move on to the base before we do under the eye, if I decide I want to do under the eye. We've already primed, and I believe that primer's set pretty good. So, I'm going to move into a foundation that I haven't used in a while. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Ivory. Actually, I'm going to shake it up a little bit since I haven't used it in a while. And it'll help kind of cover up, a little bit much. help kind of cover up some of the redness we got over here. You know, it's very weird with foundation, or not just foundation, but my skin tone in general. My body is very pale. I mean, obviously, I'm very pale. But my face is darker than my body. I mean, most people, especially those that do the whole fake tanning thing, their bodies are darker than their face. But me, my face is darker than my body, and I do not understand what is the deal. I feel like it's probably because I wear a lot of layers. I wear for lack of better terms, a modest amount of clothing. And I don't go out in the sun a lot. So my body is probably a little bit paler because of that. But it doesn't, I don't understand my face. Please tell me if anybody else has had that problem, because it's really annoying. Now that I look a little bit like Casper the Ghost, I mean, Halloween is over. Let me know if you want to see a Halloween tutorial. I was planning on doing a ghost tutorial a while back, but I wasn't able to get that up. But let me know if you still want to see something like that. But like I was saying, I look like a Casper the Ghost a little bit. Halloween is over. I shouldn't be looking like Casper the Ghost. But that comes with being pale, so. And the red eyeshadow doesn't do me any favors as far as that's concerned. But it is bringing out the brown tones in my eyes, which I really like. Alrighty, so what concealer do I want to use? No, I haven't used my Age Rewind by Maybelline in a while. Let's use that today. Let that come up just a little bit. I saw a lady doing ASMR a while back, and one of her tips was to use your fingers to tap in your foundation a little bit, and it'll sink in a little better. And your fingers will take off some of the excess. Please focus, camera. Focus on me. Thank you. Alrighty, so we're going to throw on a little bit of concealer. I love this stuff so much. I don't know why I don't use it more. I guess because I've been loving the NARS concealer so much that I kind of forgot about this one. And from what I understand, this makes me really excited. From what I understand, the Maybelline Age Rewind is supposed to be a drugstore dupe for the, what is it, Tarte Shape Tape. So that makes me very excited, because right now, financially speaking, I cannot get Tarte Shape Tape, and to know that I might have a dupe for that, I mean, hello. I think this really calls for something under the eye, like for eyeshadow. So I'll try to figure out what to do with that once I get my bronzer on. Alrighty. And I feel like that concealer sets well on its own, so I'm going to leave it be for now. I'm going to take that same powder that I used, for my face. Oh, please don't do that to me today. Thank you. It's trying to break on me. I'm going to take that same face powder that I set my eyes, and I'm just going to run that over my face. Apparently I'm going to go matte today. A matte look it is. Run that over my forehead. You know, I just realized I didn't grab a highlighter or anything, so I guess I'll just use an eyeshadow. I've got a subtle highlighter over there by Wet n Wild, but I don't want subtle today, which is a big fat mood. Okay, let's go in with the bronzer. I'm going to use my usual NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer in the shade Sunny. And I'm going to use this little brush right here. And I need to get out of the habit of trying to contour with this stuff, because contour with a warm color doesn't look good on me, but a gray tone doesn't look good on me either. So I'm not sure how to go about that, to learn how to contour for my face shape. Kind of bring back a little bit of, not necessarily definition, but I want to look a little bit bigger, so to speak. Like I'd like to have a little more. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Bring that bronzer up here to the forehead. And since that bronzer is such a stark comparison between my face and my neck, I'm going to try to bring it down like this. Just to match slightly. Bronzer is done, and I feel like we need something under the eyes. And it's very rare for me to say. I'm going to go in to that same MAC Z palette. I'm going to take that orangey shade right there, the matte orange. I'm going to go in with that same fluffy brush. Make silly faces to go with it. It's up to you. Oh, now I look sick and I look dead. Cool. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go in with a definer brush. This really isn't a definer brush, it's a paintbrush. But we're going to call it a definer brush because I don't have anything else. I'm going to go in with this other matte red color that's in this palette. And I'm going to run that. Was that English? I'm going to run that under my eyes, just at the lower lash line. Press it up against my lash line. It'll help the colors blend really nice. Alright. Oh, this is going to be heck to edit. Been filming for 30 minutes. Now we're going to take that pointed brush, the pencil brush, again, pointed, and it's got a little bit of red from the last time on it, but we're going to run that underneath, ow, the lower lash line, without poking myself in the eye. Oh, I look a little ridiculous. honestly, I might end up having to do a wing because this looks really rough. I might have to clean up under here. What can I do to clean that up? You know what? It's okay. We're gonna have fun with makeup today. But what I'm gonna do is take that red that we just used. I'm gonna deepen up right here. It'll give a better contrast between the oranges that I used and the reds. Because a lot of the shades that I used are very similar. So there's not as much dimension as I'd like. So take the blending brush again. Honestly, there's really not much I can do with the brow bone. I don't have a whole lot of lid space. So now that we have a very blown out red eyeshadow, which I was not planning on doing, we're gonna go in with, what are we gonna go in with? A blush. Since the eyes are so intense, I'm going to go in with a neutral blush. This one right here, it's kind of a deep pink, I would say. So I'm going with the same brush that I used the bronzer for. Run that across the cheeks. Okay. I look so pale right now. I don't know what to do about that. But there's nothing wrong with being pale. What am I talking about? Alright, so for highlighter, I'm going to be using my ShanXO and BH Cosmetics collaboration. I'm going to use that top center shade. Place that on my cheekbones. I don't know why that looks so muddy. Oh dear, that looks really muddy. So this video is turning into a complete disaster. That's fun. But we will work with it. We will work with it. I always have. Why is it that I always have a disaster in every video? It never fails. It's always a disaster. So to soak up any excess powder, I'm just going to use a bit of setting spray. That's my NYX Dewy Finish, and I just got it all in my eye. Well done. Oh, let's see. I guess we'll move on to, still need to do my brows. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll do my brows off camera since that takes up so much freaking time. Okay, so this is about as good as it's going to get for my brows. I worked with them as much as I could, but they just kind of had a mind of their own, so I just rolled with it. So now I'm going to take a little bit of clear mascara. I believe this one's by CoverGirl. I'm going to set the brows down. Don't know why, because I'm really not doing anything afterwards. You can't really see me in a podcast. So while that dries, just a little bit, let's take a look. I'm going to turn the light down just a little bit so you can see what's going on a little bit better. Feel like we're a tad bit muddy with the highlighter. I don't know what's going on there. Might have had something on my brush. I'm gonna blend out, please focus, blend out the highlighter just a little bit better. Yeah, something's going on really weird there. Please ignore it. Please focus. Yeah, it's about as good as it's going to get as far as my complexion, my eyebrows. Like I said, this one, I'm just really aggravated with. Both of them, really. So we're going to move on to the lips. We're going to use the Liquid Matte Lipstick by e.l.f. and this is in the shade Praline. If I can get it out. It's a beautiful fall shade. And for me to say that I love a liquid lipstick, that just blows my mind. Because I hate liquid lipsticks. A nude would look better with this look, but I really, honestly, I feel like the colors go good together because there's a little bit of brown pulling in the eyes from my eye color and the brownish reds that I used. I think it all came together in the end. Yeah, I like it. Let me know what you guys think and let me know what you want to see. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.